Welcome back to the potty. Roll the intro.
Yeah, they call me a savage. I'm putting in work. I hustle and grind, I put in the time, get what I deserve. Savage.
Yo,
Morning, bro.
welcome back. We had a week off last week, so you went up to Goldie. I was the Goldie.
It's good, man. Nice weather up there. It's good to go away from the rain and then obviously get some sun.
Oh, you missed it all?
Yeah, missed it all, bro.
Beauty. And NRL's kicked off.
2 rounds.
Yeah, so
What'd you think, bro?
yeah, very impressed with all the top 4 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seemed like to me that they're a level above, and then you have the bottom 4 of the top 8 teams, and then you have sort of the rest that will struggle to get into 8, and then you have obviously the bottom 4, and yeah, I think there's like big levels of difference between from the first team all the way to the bottom, which is probably not good for the whole comp. Yeah, I feel like the Tigers compared to the Melbournes and the Penriths, there's a big. But if you look at the spines, I think that's where you can pick up on how good of a team is going. The top teams have the fullback, the half, the 5'8", the hooker. Like
They're all on.
yeah, they're all on. They're nearly all rep players, which is it's good to watch actually. Some of the best teams. So Melbourne really impressed me, and then you have all the other players. I like seeing how like that little footy IQ little plays when I watch footy.
Yeah.
I remember Kenny Bromwich did called for the ball early. They made a little break, and then he just ran straight to the line, skipped out a little, and popped it to I think Pappenhausen.
Yeah.
And then he went just a little half break, just little things off the cuff, not so structured, but he could see it. He played.
That's a difference. What you're talking about, difference between those really good players,
Yep.
or those really good teams, and those other teams.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
What about you? Who did you like?
I only caught a couple of games, to be honest, bro. But I enjoyed the Penrith and Manly game.
That was Penrith were like walls.
It's just nice to watch, bro. Like, you look at Manly and they've got Tommy Turbo, and obviously he's got a big target on his head, and they know how to just drown out players. They know how to just bum rush them. It sort of gives them less options to work with, and you can sort of tell when Turbo's off, the whole sort of Manly side can't really find momentum. There's small influxes of energy and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, if he's not running it right, then the team ain't sort of running it right. And
they still didn't have Cleary as well.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
He's nearly the best player in the game.
It's just nice to watch Sullivan jump in there and sort of lead that charge. It's a super simple game plan, just kicking it down and getting that left edge just to chase the whole time.
Yeah,
it's good to see.
Any players stand out?
That young fella from Penrith, Tago,
yeah, he looks gun.
Mate, he just stepped up to the mark, I think, bro.
Strong D as well.
Strong D.
Very athletic.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah.
Seen a few things. He played good in round 2 as well, even though they didn't go as...
And he's in a good system too with Penrith, bro. They always look after the young guns, and I think he'll have a good future in front of him. Yeah,
Penrith are probably... I don't know. They didn't go as good round 2. St. George gave it to them. They played really well, which St. George is sort of on the come up, so they're probably in that bottom 4 of the top 8. Which is sort of up for grabs. Heaps of teams, but even the Roosters weren't that flash, but you sort of have confidence with them because they can build a season, and they usually get better throughout the whole season and all that. So
I caught the Melbourne and Rabbitohs game.
Yeah.
It was sort of half frustrating watching the first 3 quarters of the game, to be honest. Seeing Latrell at the back, and they were just forcing that pass, that finishing pass every time, and then it came together at the end when a couple of the Melbourne players got pulled off, and then to see him kick that field goal was pretty exciting, pretty cool to watch. And then Pappenhausen to win the game, bro. That was fucking cool, man. Cool. Just saw new guys were coming up to block the kick. He just steps off his mark, and reloads, and kicks it over.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah.
My pet peeve for the rounds is just the wingers and the centers not coming up and in. Yeah, that's. I've seen two. I don't know what their defense structures are.
I think that's what it is, bro.
Really, they're not allowed to. They have to
Yeah,
get out. Or they have to wait for the help to come in.
Like, you came from a time when there was, up and in all day, every day. But, if you've got a structure to keep to, I think.
But it's not up and in. It's only up and in when you're under a bit of a threat and you're not going to allow them. I hate seeing tries where you're inside your 10 and they're backing off and they make the tackle, but they just fall over the line. I've seen heaps of those instead of just going up. And instead of going up and then going backwards towards your try line, just going up, making a decision, bang, bang.
Yeah.
I feel the wingers and the centers don't work together as well. I don't know.
Peeve.
Pet peeve,
Fucking
man.
pisses
I
me
just
off,
go
eh?
up, keep going straight, and then just make a decision. If you and your winger can go up and in, it's not even up and in. It's just up and straight and continue. What I see some of the defenses doing is they're going up, and then they're going backwards.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a little hands. I think the Titans scored a try where it was hands from one sideline to the other. It's because no one would come up. I was just straight in on someone. Just looking, look, and then it's easier said than I haven't played NRL, so I'm talking shit. But, it was easier to do in the lower grades.
But, yeah, you're
but
right.
That's like the passes are not as sharp in the lower grades, and I think you can pull off like that stuff. But it gets harder and harder. But if you're all working as a team, I don't see why it can't work either. But I don't know I was speaking to BG about their defense structures and that. He didn't give me too much, but I was just wondering how they play on their line. Is it go up and hold and then wait for the inside help? I never used to like waiting for the inside help because you never know if it's coming. It's always, and I feel like that puts the attack with the advantage, because you're dictating to them.
Yeah, give them more
options. Whereas, I'd rather go up and play aggressive.
Well,
I really love to test it out and just see if it worked.
I feel like the teams that do really well in terms of defense, the edges sort of make that decision. You know what you're saying about, cutting off options and all that sort of stuff. I think, on the line, second rower, half, center, wing, that's your unit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may need to be a little bit more aggressive just to cut off the options and then wait for the inside to work with you. Do you know what I mean?
But if you really break it down, there's not many options that you can get thrown at. There's only 4 moves in a back line.
Yeah.
There's a block play. The fullback's out the back. There's a skip overs. There's the back rower plays the block instead, and the center runs the block, the front runner. Like, there's not too many options. Like, that's what I feel like. Should be able to
cut them off.
Yeah, cut them off. Like, they're not going to throw too much at you, and then it's sort of just one-on-one individual brilliance they might get through. But I don't know. There's a story for another time. Well, it would be better if we could visually show what we're talking about.
Yeah, that'd
as well.
be cool, bro.
Maybe I can clip some parts, maybe into the next couple of weeks of just little breakdowns of what I see and how. Yeah, I'd love to clip that Kenny Bromwich play where he just took it to the line, played overs. Yeah, that was mad. That was cool to see as well. Just little things like that.
Mad.
Just takes a lot of so much effort to do edits and shit. It's hard enough just to get this out. But injuries. Let's touch on.
What do you think, bro?
Fuck, there's a lot, man. There's a lot. So 6 ACLs so far. Yeah, we got that from that NRL physio guy. We don't know if that might be from pre-season as well, because I know a couple.
I think total, yeah.
But the thing going into that, there's 6 in the NRL, but there's another 20 footy leagues around the country that knee injuries are happening as well. So remember Marco told the Panthers guy he done his knee at training, non-contact ACL, and then another guy's done it as well. So there's 2 from just that under-20s Penrith team that have been done. So there's a lot happening. And what we think about it, we don't think the players are in that great a shape, to be honest. They just need to be doing a bit more other stuff, I feel.
Do you want my honest opinion on this, bro?
Ooh.
Honest opinion.
Yeah.
I think, like, I look at myself, and I always go back to, obviously, my own experience, but, I look at myself before my footy career, during, and then after, right? during my career, that first 2 years, you know, I spiked from 100 kilos and went straight up to 110 to 115. I think now, knowing what I know, that's way too much for a body to handle. And I look at a lot of these guys, and it's not the be all and end all. There's so many different things that you could talk about. You could talk about the boots that they wear, the grass that they're running on, the actual movements. Some of them are freakish, but if you look at George Jennings and that other young lad that did his knee the other night, there's no contact there. There's no involvement. So it's just, you know, a lot of it's just in their, I feel like in their own control. Yep. And I don't feel like there's enough knowledge out there for these guys in order for them to learn. And I'm not saying I've got all the knowledge or we've got all the knowledge, but wouldn't it be nice for these players to understand or know a little bit more so that when they're on the field or when they're doing their training sessions, they sort of have an understanding of how the body should move properly. And then on the back of that, when I mean artificial weight, they're fucking too big. Yeah. I feel there's too much muscle, too much mass, and then they're so strong, they're putting so much force into one leg. It only has one option, bro. It's like a pain reflex. It snaps and then it goes.
And if everything's not working properly to begin with, then it's not going to be, good for the players as well.
Talked about this. Sorry, I'm on a bit of a ranty, but we've talked about even the movements that they do, bro. Like, I was box squatting until I was 27. Yep. Like, you look at a box squat, bro, and you're cutting yourself short every time. You know, if you're cutting yourself short every time during training, you're going to cut yourself short while you're playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you take yourself through length, like what we train and we do all the time, you know, you're going to give yourself more of a chance to be able to your body will understand those uncomfortable positions. You know, I go back to, I want to talk about cars here. I go back to doing my cars work. I feel like doing the cars work has given me more control of my joint, being able to turn and twist and all that sort of stuff, so that when I do go through range of motion, which is, my squatting and all that sort of shit, I'm able to find positions that are normally uncomfortable for me and make them comfortable. Nice and simple. So, that's my spill on it, bro.
Yeah, that's I think there's a difference between doing a box squat, because you can't do a full squat. I don't mind being able to do box squats.
Yeah, of course, yeah. You got to be
during the season.
Context, yeah.
Yeah, so box squats are fine, but not if you can't do a full body squat. Maybe you should work on something else instead. It's sort of the same sort of thing.
I feel like they do box squats because they don't coach them to do fucking proper squats. You know what I mean, bro? There's like a filler rather than, actually teaching them how to do it. And then on the side of that, I feel like, the NRL could progress in terms, like, we watch the Americans, and they're fucking 20 years in front of us. I had a conversation with a bloke called Nick Timms, who's up in Queensland. He's doing really good work with, his work. But he said the same thing, bro. We're behind the 8 ball. And you can see it. There's, how many knees have been done, bro?
Yeah, I think we need to look to NBA and NFL and how they run everything. And I think the budgets are a lot bigger, so that makes a big difference. But they're a bit ahead of us and have always been. That's where I've always looked for all of my stuff as well. And it's good to see different individuals, and they get individual training. They're training in the off season. So I think bringing that professionalism back to the NRL would be real good as well.
Is there any guys that you would suggest someone maybe following, or besides yourself?
There's even the athletes that do little vlogs of all their training sessions and whatnot. I think, is it Tyreek, is the NFL wide receiver? He does a good vlog of all his training and whatnot. It's pretty good, and they get obviously they're on 10 million a year maybe, and that's different, so you can afford to. But I don't think there's any excuse at the moment for NRL players not to be able to invest into themselves a bit more. They don't have that. Yeah, it's not always up to the club. I feel they should be able to go out and seek out professional help by themselves and invest in their body.
Do you think that's being lazy, bro? Do you think they're being lazy? Do you think they just don't know? Or
I just don't think they know.
Okay.
It's just they've done what they've always did, and then until you get that ACL injury, you won't go out and seek outside help, which is sometimes maybe too late. And I think you can get away with it when you're young, and then as you get older and through the things, that's when injuries tend to happen, I feel, because all your bad habits have started then, but you've been young enough to get away with it for so long, and then Obviously,
Get to a
maybe you
point.
have 3 or 4 in a row in the back end of your career, which you don't need. And I think the athletes need to start looking at their body as their business. That's their moneymaker.
Oath.
If that's injured, then
Oath,
your
bro.
value in your business or your
Oath.
body goes down. So
100%.
maybe
Mad.
it's worth investing. And it's not just buy my program or like thing, but there's like heaps of coaches out there and just doing a little extra here, extra recovery. I see a few of the boys doing extra recovery and whatnot, but then, hey, maybe you do need a personal trainer or coach outside of the club just to point you in the right direction and just holding yourself accountable when you invest in yourself.
mad,
Like when I
mad,
invest
bro.
in trainers
Yeah,
and
fuck yeah.
anything that I invest in, that holds me accountable. And even the guys that I've worked with who obviously buy my program and do it, they've invested in themselves and
Yep.
none of them are injured.
Most of them are fucking kicking ass too, bro.
Yeah, so touch wood, but
Yeah, mad.
they all going well. But I just think that like when you're always doing your extras, good things happen, don't you think? 6 ACLs isn't good in
It's
the
not.
first 2 rounds.
It's not, bro.
It's 6, and then you have all the other injuries. I don't know. I think I just checked the NRL injury list. There's like 50 players in there, which
Yeah.
is, you know what I mean?
It's
Nearly
not, it's not good.
three teams. So, and then that, you want to see the fans want to see the best players out. Like
Exactly.
you got Kalen Ponga out, you got Sean Johnson, Toya Harris, all these good players, Safidi. These are like rep players too. You've got Christian Welsh, George Jennings that are all out. They'll be rep players for their countries on states. And you think of Melbourne Storm. Christian Welsh did his Achilles, and then who else?
Jennings.
Cheese done his hand, and Jennings 3 out of your team. That's nearly your season over.
Yeah, bro.
Then wouldn't it be worth, trying to look for different ways to do things?
Yeah.
I think it's just still the same. Even when I was up at Maldi's and everyone was doing their own weights programs, I went to look and just see what
And
sort
observe.
of things. But it's still the stock
Still
standard.
the same.
Nothing. There was a few older players, like Kenny Bromwich was doing his own things. He came to me and asked, and he had a few little things that he was doing, which is good. He was dealing with some knee pain or whatnot, so he was getting his extras done. And but everyone was just pretty stock standard. Box squats, nothing wrong. With
Fuck box
just do
squats,
something
bro.
different. Like,
Fuck box squats, bro. I'm gonna tell everyone, fuck your box squats. I used to box squat until I was fucking 28, bro.
Anyone can box squat 200.
100%.
That's nothing.
Once Keegan Smith was, working with Brian back in the day, 2010. And I was watching him squat, and then he was watching me squat. And this is before I got injured. And I was doing box squats then. And he's going to me, well, why don't you squat, full range, full depth? And I was just like, whatever, bro. You don't know. I'm just copying, or listening to what the strength and conditioning coach gave. And sure enough, bro, he's right. That's why, Keegs does really well with that stuff. So
Yeah, I think we'll go into the era eventually of every NRL will have their own trainer, like NFL in the off season, and they'll manage. I don't know. They say LeBron James puts in $1 million a year into his body, so
that's why he's on the big bucks, cuz.
So that professionalism as it develops, I think, as the player salaries get bigger and bigger, but it'll be a lot better if all the best players on the were on the field playing. Better product, better games, more crowd, more money for everyone.
I also think the leading players could also take a little bit more of a leadership role when it comes to that sort of stuff. So like you said, how those Americans are doing those vlogs and all that sort of stuff. It'd be good for those guys who are leading for their teams to do that sort of stuff too. So these young guys can actually see that being done. So they know what they're in for when they do start, being professional. I think that would be cool too, bro. So,
but none of them do it.
yeah, I know. Most of them go straight over the fucking top of their head.
They don't do social media, the NRL boys. But
the girls are good, like I said to you, bro.
The girls kill it. The girls, the women's NRL kill it compared to the boys. And I think is Instagram's going to die, which is it's died out already. TikTok is the thing at the moment. And if you look at the followers of the women's on TikTok,
they
it's
kick
way
ass,
better.
bro. Kick ass.
Like
The girls.
Yeah, what's Kennedy got? 150?
Fuck yeah, she kills it.
150. And then I remember another girl. I think that Wakole, she's funny, bro. Have you seen her?
Nah.
She's the winger for Newcastle.
I'm not even on TikTok yet, bro.
Yeah, she's hilarious on her. She's very like out there, comedic,
Yeah.
big personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they understand TikTok's another era. It's past our era, and they can do it real well, which is cool and it's good to see. So hopefully that, like,
But I think it's a combination of
That's well for them.
their personality and, their craft, which is fucking footy.
yeah,
And they're building the game that way, which is really cool
yeah.
to
I
see.
think there's something there definitely with all those like their social media bringing it. I think they deserve. Yeah, they got the latest things out. 2 more teams next year.
Yeah, bro.
And then 2 more teams the week after, or the year after, and then bump up everyone's pay, which is, so they're heading in the right direction. I just hopefully it doesn't spread the talent too thin
Okay.
with the 2 extra teams. That's the only thing they would have to worry about, where I think 6 is a real good number. Newcastle seem to not be doing as well as the other team. You don't want to bring in another 2 more teams that are not as good as Newcastle, I feel. But we'll see how it plays out. Could be wrong. Everyone could just step it up and they get the full-time training. And they've got another 6-week season at the end of the season,
Yeah.
which has been funny because
I don't even know how that works, to be honest, bro.
Yeah, I think they tried to put 2 seasons in one because they missed last season. So when the finals will come around for the men's footy, they will have another comp during there, which will marry up with the grand final, I think. So
Some good footy then.
yeah, so
Heaps of footy this year.
heaps of footy this year.
Swear to God, I gotta stop. I gotta start watching footy a bit more.
Yeah, I watch a bit. I watch like at least most games, and even if you just watch a half, it's good to,
Yeah.
crank it out. And then
Might be strapping on the boots soon, bro. See
Yeah.
what happens, with the old boys.
these must be feeling good.
Almost there. Nah, they're feeling pretty good at the moment, bro, so why not?
Legend, that'll be us for this week. Done, bro.
Thank you, cuz.
Shot.
Yeah, they call me a savage. How I'm putting in work. I hustle and grind, I put in the time, get what I deserve. Savage.